Family, how y'all doing tonight? Welcome to Midnight Meditation with Emma. Uh, it's really good to be back this week with some, as my coworker says, profound information. And we're gonna dig right on in, and yeah, we're gonna dig right on in. So today's topic is I am faith filled and fear free because I am willing to test what I know. Now you can look at that in several different ways. You can ask yourself several different questions about testing what you know. Because from my own experience, some of the stuff that I know, the things that we say we know is up for revision on a consistent basis, because some of the things that we know is always changing. It never stays the same. So let's see what my friend talking about. Testing what you know. Life's trials are progressive in nature. Hmm. They get bigger to make us better. Wow. Just when you think you have got it all together, things you have never seen or heard of will present themselves in your life. They will push you, test you, and challenge you to do more growing, more learning, more of what we have already done. Very often, when this happens, we are tempted to believe that we have done something wrong or that we missed something. Mm. Rarely do we understand that we cannot, no, not we. Rarely do we understand that you cannot get too much of a good thing. Growing, learning, living are good things. They are good even when we are forced to retest our skills and abilities over and over again. So I'm gonna put a pin in it right there, because y'all know how I get down, you know. So when she's talking about that we'll be pushed, it's like the things that we no, the things that present themselves in our lives. Um, and some of this I really do believe is the truth. That it pushes me to grow, to learn, um, to see how far, just to see how far I can go. You know, even when it's going downhill, uphill, around the hill, it challenges, as she said, it challenges me. Even when I think I got it all together, it's like, oh wow, I'm on a roll, and everything is going the way that I think they should or the way they supposed to, and then boom, we go a monkey wrench, throw it in there. So when the monkey wrench comes, it's like, what do I do then? You know, uh, how do I handle it? So endurance. Here we go. Endurance reveals and strengthens character. It also builds faith. As your faith grows, it takes more than it used to stay to shake you up. It takes more than it did before to make you doubt yourself. It takes more pressure this time than it did the last time or the time before that to make you consider giving up. Mm. Life always wants you, life always wants to be sure that you are sure. What about you? Don't you want to be sure that you can take it, make it, work it through it until you can work it out? Of course you do. You want to know that you depend on you when you need you. Mm. You want to know that you have the requisites. No, I can't pronounce the word. Requisites. Yeah, that's it. Requisites to. Oh, now I just trying to pronounce that word. It made me lose it. You want to know that you have the requisite amount of faith required to sustain you at all times, at any time. For this reason, it may seem that as you get better, the trials become greater. The truth is, the best students always get the hardest tests because they can handle them. Until today, you may have thought that a retest in life was the result of a failure. Just for today, be a good student of life. Trust yourself. Rely on what you know. Do what you did before, better this time. Be willing to take the progressive steps required to ensure the divine unfolding your fully empowered higher self. Mm. Today, I am devoted to knowing that I keep getting better and better as I pass through the testing situations in my life. So, that's a little too far for me because, like, I was having a conversation with somebody the other day, and we was talking about life situations and things happening, and they just blurted out to me and said, "Well, God don't test you, and I'm like, oh, okay." I didn't agree or disagree with them. I just listened to what they had to say. And they was like, well, God don't test you, and they don't say that nowhere in the Bible that He tests you, and this, that, and the third, and at the end of the conversation, I had to say to them, like, hey, you believe what you believe. I believe what I believe. And it's not that I believe He do or that I believe He don't. What I do know is that there are things that happen in my life, that challenges me to come outside the box. And what I mean by that is that I have to look at other possibilities, because there's always other possibilities to look at things, to support things, to do things. Because, like, where I come from, there's always been this traditional way to do this and to live, and traditions, but they wasn't my traditions. Some of it was my ancestors' traditions. That don't make it be mine. Hell, I didn't grow up in their time. You know, so what worked for them don't always work for me. Now, don't get it twisted. There are some things that my granny taught me that I'm still holding on and doing today. But there are some things that my grandmother believed that I disagreed with, and I had to have my own thoughts and beliefs about that. So that's where some of the challenges in this day and time come from me. You know, uh, I test myself. It's like it says, test what you know, you know. And sometimes I do it in a form of, like, test myself to say, am I good enough? Am I worthy enough? Do I deserve? And then sometimes I test myself to the point where I beat myself up because I feel unqualified, And then I ask, what am I? How am I? Why am I unqualified? What and who am I measuring myself up against? You know, uh, to determine whether I'm a failure or succeed. What does my measuring stick look like? Who am I measuring myself against? For real, for real. Because at the end of the day, life is challenging to us all. It's just challenging us in different ways, in different forms. And sometimes we accept the challenges and be able to move forward. Sometimes we get stuck in a challenge and have to work on that uh, until we pass the test. And what does the test passing look like? You know, there are some things in my life that I do not want to repeat. Some things in my life I'm not going to repeat, like going back to prison. I ain't gonna do that again. I ain't finna live that kind of life. I learned my lesson when and I tested myself thoroughly because I went in uh like I did more than one time going to prison. So I continued to test myself until I got the lesson, you know. But today I challenged myself in a lot of different ways. Um because I want to grow, because I want to learn. You know, I was asking some people on my job tonight uh, about is it expensive to take the nursing class? And then how long does it take to complete it? You know, and so the responses they gave me, they was like, you know, it's anywhere from 18 months to 2 years. And yes, it can be, yes, it is expensive, but you can get financial aid. And at the end of the day, uh, once you become a nurse, you make that up, you know, you get that back. And so I was like, can I challenge myself to go that deep? Do I want to? And the bottom line is, I don't want to be in class that long. I don't want to be in no schoolroom setting for 18 months or 2 years. Even though I know that if I did, um, it would be very beneficial in the long run. And what I said to them when we was talking about it is like, well, maybe I should have done that. I can take these off now. I'm through reading. I said I should have done that when I was young, you know, or younger. Uh, hmm. There go that first one, y'all. Y'all know it seems like every time I do a midnight meditation, I always have to get a yawn in there. I don't know. Is it something about midnight that makes me sleepy? I don't know, but I always get a yawn in there. But as I was saying, you know, going through the process of having to sit and do a schoolroom setting, whether it's online or in person, I just don't think that I can do it for that length of time. And the truth be told, um, I can. I just don't want to. That's something I should have tried when I was younger. So the challenges that I have and the things that I test myself on today are a little different. You know, like for instance, on my job is like I I'm top notch. I'm at the top. I'm I'm able to go in there and go to work and my team can depend on me. They don't have to tell me to do this, that, and the third. I know what to do, and I go ahead and get it done. Like I said, I don't wait for nobody to tell me that I need to take vitals and that I need to do this, that, and the third. I don't do all that. I have a routine now. When I go in, I do what I need to do to make my night easier, and it's challenging sometimes. Like I got two new people today, and so it was very challenging uh, to be working with one of them because he's a diabetic and an amputee, you know, and it was kind of um, I'm gonna say rough, but it was informative to really learn about him as a person and his personality by interacting with him. So what it did for me is to it made me feel like I want to grow some more in this field, you know, because like I started out as a caregiver. Um, and that's not to say I'm not still a caregiver because I am. but I'm a CNA now. But I started out at the bottom and I'm working my way up. And that's not to say I won't do nursing. Uh, but I'm gonna have to pray on that. So, what is challenging you? What is going on in life with with you guys these days that challenges you to want to grow, want to be better, want to be happy, and want to be free? Because if I'm faith filled and fear free, I stand a chance to be at the top on any and everything that I do. And so do you. You know, uh, life throws curveballs sometimes, but for me, those curveballs are perfect learning experiences. They are perfect teaching episodes, and I'm being taught. Not that I'm always the teacher. Those are the times that I get to learn from whomever is presenting, whether it be the God of my understanding, one of the nurses on my job, or some of my coworkers on my other job. Because I learn from everybody, and I'm either learning one or two things. I'm learning what it is I want to do and be like, and I'm also learning what I don't want and don't want to be like, because there's some people that I be like, I don't want to be like them. Like was having a young lady tonight working with me, and she didn't have a really great attitude. But that's her stuff. That's her shit. That's the attitude she wanted to have. That's fine. It does not reflect how I operate. You know, um, because at the end of the day, I show up my best self in everything that I do. I put out good vibes because I be wanting good vibes back. And sometimes I don't get them, but it's okay because I don't do it to receive something back. And if you're out there, check in with me. I'd love to chat with you. Uh, because I don't got all the answers. Let me say that. I don't know everything. I don't got all the answers. And so even with doing this midnight meditation class, I get to learn stuff too, you know, uh, from you guys. You know, Grateful that I have an open mind and an open spirit to receive and to learn. And for me, it's good not to have all the answers. You know, um, I don't, God works in mysterious ways. And for those of us or those of you that have an issue with God, just say use good orderly direction or the powers of the universe, but have a sense of humor at times because I can put stuff in place or have an idea how I want things that go or plan, and the powers that be have have something else on the table, you know. And he have it in place because he knows what's best for me. Because I know that I don't always have. Now I think I have my best interest at heart, or I'm trying to, but being that I'm not him, and he created the universe and myself and had a plan for me before I was even created. Um, so when those things that I put in place that I think are best for me, and he says, "No, I got a better way of doing it," And so he put it and he started making things happen in a different way than I was. uh it lets me know that like he still got my best interest at hand. He still has a place of destiny that he wants me to reach, and he has a path for me to go on to get there, and my path don't always agree with his, but his path is always right for me, uh no matter how I look at it, because at the end of the day, he created it, so he knows what's best. you know like I work with a good group of people on both my jobs. I'd be super excited about coming to work because it's always challenging. I'm always learning. uh I learn when my coworkers ask me questions about stuff that they don't know. I get to learn something new. I get to learn when I ask questions. I get to keep testing myself, you know. And who better to test me than me, or to test the things that I know, because I get better each time that I do that, you know. And for some reason, no, not for some reason, when I do that, I become stronger. I become more wiser. I become more confident. I become more secure within me. Um, I become more of my authentic self every single time that I test what it is that I know. Because I can always know and learn more, you know. And it's not always black and white. You know, there's a gray area in there, and some people don't know none of. A lot of people act like they don't know about the gray area. They want to be like it's black or white, and it's not. Life ain't just black and white. There's some gray in there. Uh, Shit, sometimes it's some orange in there. Some yellow. It's how you look at it. It's the what it is. And if I'm always trying to look at it in a black and white state, I'm gonna always come up short. I'm gonna always come up missing something that's gonna benefit me, and not just benefit me, benefit those that are around me that I interact with. You know, um, I don't know, I don't know, gang. All I know is that today I am open to continuing to test what it is that I know, so that I can learn more, so that I can grow more, so that I can be a better service to myself and others. You know, because at the end of the day, that's really what it's about. You know, I don't know. What I do know is that I am truly grateful for the life that I'm living. Um, it can't, no, it can always get better. Um, and it does get better. But I have to stay open and stay in position and stay teachable. Because as long as I'm staying teachable, God got a plan that's going to work. Because I get to learn, you know. I don't know. It's like, so don't nobody want to talk to me tonight. Nobody check in. And it's okay. I ain't mad. I just know that I get to keep doing my due diligence, uh, showing up every Thursday night. And whenever it's being viewed, somebody will check in and watch it. And maybe they'll get something, maybe they won't. You know, it ain't for everybody, you know. And if it don't apply, let it fly. You know, I don't know. I know life is good. I'm good. I pray that y'all are good. You know, it's like I'm rambling now, but I'm really not. I'm just in a good place. And that meditation just confirmed for me that I am right where I'm supposed to be. You know, doing right what it is I'm supposed to be doing. It was really a lot of confirmation for me. So when I read it, and because I quite naturally I read it a whole lot earlier than I did when I came on live, and so it has been marinating in my spirit all day. You know, and so in the marination it has me like, yay, right. I'm in a good place, uh, good frame of mind. My heart is okay, you know. Um, Gratitude, good, bad, and indifferent, you know. And and I don't and I don't really live in the good, bad, or indifferent that much anymore. And I'm just happy that my life is where it is today. I am happy that I have people that love me around me, and that I love the people that I'm around, you know. And so, what I would like to say to you guys is that keep your head up, keep accepting the challenges of life, keep growing, keep learning, keep smiling. Yeah, keep smiling, keep loving on you. And until next week, be safe, be good to yourself, and give yourself a hug. And know that I love you. See you next Thursday. Good night.